I was a young teenager in my cheer uniform, and we were stopped by the police in a very upscale neighborhood. We were taken from the car and laid in the street, face down, spread eagle, told that we fit the description of people who were breaking and entering into houses, as if high school cheerleaders had formed gangs and were breaking into houses. They were making jokes and laughing, and talking about our anatomy, using nightsticks to lift skirts. I had a gun placed behind my left ear and was called many profane names. It was one of the most scary experiences of my life. Several years later, in my military uniform, in my flight suit, as I drove home from work after a 12-hour shift, I was pulled over in a snowstorm, told I needed to step out of the vehicle, which I complied because I was innocently thinking there must be something, some reason. And the officer proceeded to make me stand outside in the cold with no jacket, just a flight suit, and asked for my ID. Then he made me sit on the curb, which was wet, icy, and cold. And he made me sit there for a very long time while he proceeded to run my ID. And several times he and his colleague laughed and joked and said, "She can freeze out there for all I care." And they kept saying, "Where are your warrants? How many times have you been arrested? I doubt seriously that you have nothing out there." And finally he said, "Just let her go. I'm sure we'll get her on something sooner or later." And so I was terrified until it was time for me to leave. I never took the same route home. I was terrified that those officers would stop me and find some reason to arrest me or create a record for something. Those memories to me are more salient than my military memories. And more salient than deployments, more vivid than my wedding. I can still feel cold. I can still smell the ground. I still feel my heart speed up when I walk past police officers. I've served my country. I've done nothing wrong. I've worked my whole life. I've done everything I can to be a good citizen here, and I'll always be a criminal because it doesn't matter, because my skin is too dark, because I fit the profile. And I realize that there's nothing that I can ever do to not fit the profile. The same way that cancer disproportionately affects one group, but it affects all people, so let's find a cure. Racism might disproportionately affect me, but it's affecting all of us, so let's do something to fix it. We all have our own talents, so you don't have to march if that's not your strong suit. You don't have to write if that's not your strong suit. You don't have to make videos if that's not your strong suit. But if it is, then do it and do the hell out of it.